Doors and doors. Doors mark entrance, doors mark exit. If you have a house that does not have a door, then your house becomes a prison. If you have anything that is treasurable, you need to lock it behind doors. Doors will keep the owners within and will keep the enemies without. And as such, you find also in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, chapter 3, 20, and chapter 4, verse 1, there are two doors that are given to us. On chapter 3, verse 20, the Bible then says, "Behold, I stand at the door, and I knock. If any man hears my voice and opens up their heart, I'll come inside and sup with them, and they can sup with me." So you can take note on chapter 3:20 that the door is closed. And if you want to contrast chapter 3, verse 20, then you come to chapter 4, verse 1. Then it says, "And I looked into the heavens, and I saw, and behold, the door that was standing open." Now you compare those two doors. The door that is on earth, that is your heart, is closed. Yet the door that is leading to your Father is open. Challenge for you today is that when you walk around life and people close doors on you, don't give up, for the door that leads to your Father remains open all the time. If you not noticed it, that it is all about access. It is all about opening up doors. For how can you pray for blessings that are in heaven and yet your door is closed? It's about access. If you want things that are with God, then you need to open up your door. Then you and God can be in communion with each other. Take note, while you stand at your door, God also stands on his door. We all have treasures and things that we want to protect. But when you open up these doors, there is direct access between the two parties. If you want to compare the two passages, therefore, you can say what is behind the door of chapter 3, verse 20. You find that it is a human being who is at that door. It is poverty behind that door. It is sickness behind that door. It is divorce behind that door. It is loneliness behind that door. And everything else that we can mention that is found, secrecy and privacy, it is behind that door. People close their doors, not because they want to do righteousness. Murder and vice behind those doors. And they close themselves in these cocoons and small little prisons, far from where the world can see them, locked behind these doors. And while they're behind these doors, the Bible says God stands at the door and he is knocking, almost like a policeman, saying, "Open." There is disaster happening in there. There is hunger happening in there. There are tears happening in there. There's loneliness happening in there. And when people refuse to open up their doors, the Bible says, when you open up, good luck for you. I come inside. I eat with you and you with me. I have your share. You can have my share. We have your stuff. Then you can have my stuff also. But when you flip this passage over into chapter 4, and the Bible says, "Behold, I looked into the heavens and I saw a door standing open." The passage changes altogether. Because this passage leads to God. My question is, what hangs behind this door? You cannot miss it. I need to read this one to you. Then you can appreciate it with me. And then after looking into these things, behold, I saw a door that was standing open. And the voice I had heard at the beginning, sounding like a trumpet, was saying up to me, "Come up here, and I will show you the things that are to take place." First thing that you find that is behind this door, your future is behind this door. In case you had forgotten, Jeremiah chapter 29, verse 11 is behind this door. "I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you and give you a future and an expected ending." So the first thing on verse 1, the Bible then says, when you open up this door, come up here. So you cannot miss it. Heights are up here. Immediately you're on a place of heights. Then the Bible says, "I will show you what will take place." So your future is behind this door. I want to challenge you. Enter into this door. Then the Bible in verse 2 then says, "Immediately I was in the Spirit." I like that one also. Behind this door, there is the Spirit. In the other door, there is influence. And people are being led away, led astray by the things of the world that fulfill the flesh. But behind this door, the Bible says, "And I was in the Spirit." You need to be in the Spirit to be behind this door. Not only behind the door, the Bible then says, "And I saw a throne that was behind the door." Authority is behind the door. Many people think that they're the champions of their own lives. But I want to challenge you, whoever thinks that they have their lives are going to lose it. But whoever gives it away for eternal glory shall gain it. Behind this door is a chair. And on that chair is authority. All of us as human beings, we need to be managed. We need someone in authority to determine and tell us what the future holds. And your Father sits behind the door on a chair of authority. Just when you thought you had it all, then the Bible says, "And I saw him who was sitting on the throne." There is God behind the door. In your heart, there is you and the devil sitting on the chair. But behind this door, there is God himself, purity and righteousness. And also behind the door, on verse 3, there is jasper, wealth behind the door. Oh, that's powerful stuff. Those who are seeking for money, it cannot be found on chapter 3, verse 20. Money is found on chapter 4, verse 3. For behind the door, there is jasper. There's not only jasper, there is all forms of precious stones. And this is your diamonds, your crystallites, and all the beautiful stuff are found behind the door in the presence of the Lord. For the throne of God, not only does it attract wisdom, but it also attracts wealth. Take note, behind the door also the Bible then says, and I saw a rainbow. Powerful stuff. If there is a rainbow, then we have a promise. We are promised that this world will not be destroyed by water again, but by fire. So behind the door, there are promises. Grand promises that God has given us, that we will not perish in sin. For God so loved the world, whoever accepts Jesus shall not perish, but have everlasting life. Behind the door, there is the great promise. In the appearance of emerald. Verse 4, and behind the throne, I also saw the 24 elders. There's consultation. You are not on your own. There are people. There are spirits. There is God himself with the 24 elders that you can consult with. There is also that which looked like the sea of glass. There's transparency and access behind the throne of God. Not only that, there was fire coming out of the throne of God. There is warmth in the presence of the Lord. In a world that is cold and people have left you outside, smashed doors on your faces and taken away your opportunities, and you feel like life is cold out there. Chapter 4:20 says, behind the door where God is, there is fire, where we can come closer and warm ourselves in the presence of the Lord. And behind these doors, then the Bible says, I heard voices, I heard music, there is company, there is all the worship together with thousands of angels in holy convocation. If you're seeking for company, therefore, you can't close your door on chapter 3, verse 20. Open up your door and enter into the other door. Come up here. For the higher you go, the broader the horizons. If you can still see my color, you have not yet been to where God is. For when you are where God is, all these are your brothers and sisters. From where God is, the horizons are broader. Those who see things in their smallness have not yet sat with God in his bigness. Come up here and I will show you stuff that happens. When you are on your chair, you can see but your house. When you are on your roof, you can see but your yard. When you are on the mountaintop, you can see but your horizon. When you are on the aeroplane, you can see but a vast land. When you are on the clouds, you can see but the earth. But from where God is, you can see but the universe. And God says, come up here so that we can have a better view, not only of ourselves, but even of the environments that are around us. People are stuck up in smallness, denominational smallness, family smallness, cultural smallness, linguistic smallness, educational smallness, stuck up in small things. But from where God is, there is vastness of horizons, of education, information, ecological coherence, cosmical confrontations in the presence of the Lord. Our invitation is not to corridors of smallness, but to heights of vastness. And God invites us to say, come up here and I will show you stuff that needs to come. Whoever needs to see the future, if it is your future, you need to be where God is. Therefore, open up your door and enter into the door that leads to your Father.